Hey everybody, it's August 1st, and that means that today I launched my Healthy Life Handbook, and I'm so freaking excited. I've seriously been counting down to this day for months. I've been working on this planner and putting it together since last October. So it has been a good, gosh, like 9 months of work putting this planner together, and I'm so excited to share it with you. When I first came up with the idea for this planner, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about the fact that when you're trying to create a healthy lifestyle, a lifestyle where you're constantly working towards your goals, there's kind of not a lot of tools out there to assist you in the process. I mean, there's all sorts of information, but all of these healthy habits, pursuing our goals, working out, meal planning, they're things that are habitual and take a lot of time to develop. And there was really nothing out there to assist in that process and to help you develop those habits. And that's why I wanted to create this planner. So I've used an Erin Condren Life Planner. I've used a Daily Greatness journal, and I loved both of those things, but they also both had very, very unique purposes. The Daily Greatness Planner was fantastic for habit formation and developing a healthy lifestyle and really working towards your goals, but it wasn't really a practical planner. Whereas the Erin Condren Life Planner is a great planner, but doesn't really have that area for goal setting, for doing your healthy habits. Which is why I wanted to create this planner, to give you that thing that you can do all of those things in. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to really quickly walk you through what this planner looks like and a little bit on how I intended for it to be used. Granted, you don't have to use it the way I'm going to explain it to you and how it was meant to be used, but I figure this gives you a good guideline for how to go about using the different sections of the planner. So the Healthy Life Handbook itself starts with a section called the 5 S's of Health. That really is just an informational section, so I'm not going to go over it today. But what I'm going to start with is the foundation section. So it's this section right here. And what this includes is really, I called it the foundations because everything that I'm going to be building into my coaching program, which I hope to launch some point this year, these are the foundational activities for what make up that coaching program. So the first thing we have in here is a tentative daily schedule. So here is what that looks like. And all that really is if you're going to build healthy habits into your life, you've got to have some concept of where you're going to fit those things in. So that's the first activity in here. If you want to work out, if you want a meal plan, if you want to, make sure you're doing your weekly grocery shopping so you can do your meal planning, if you're going to do personal development, all of those little activities, where are you going to fit them in your daily schedule? If you don't look at your day and decide where those things are going to fit in, then they're probably not going to get done. So that's the first activity that we have in here. Some of the other activities include doing a life evaluation, so kind of determining where you're spending a lot of your time, how satisfied you are with the different aspects of your life, to kind of help you point yourself in a direction of, I need to be prioritizing this activity that I haven't been prioritizing. So all of that stuff is in that foundation section. There's an activity for you to look at how you're balancing things, etc. All of those activities are fairly well explained. If you have any questions about them, feel free to contact me, but really what I wanted to do today in this video is to walk you through the planner. So what we've got here is the Life Design Planner, and it starts off just like most planners do with let's see if I can turn the page. Well, I do have a how-to description on how to use the planner, so some ideas in there to give you an idea of how I intended the planner to be used. Then there's also a year at a glance. Now this is the whole planner is undated, so whenever you want to start, you can start it. I just have it in here as month 1, month 2 on this year at a glance. So there's no set dates in any of these planner pages. So once you have your year at a glance, you move into the month layout. Oops, sorry, we're gonna go. This is my tested version, so not all of these, not all of the pages are in order because I've been trying things out and taking pages in my planner, but yours will be perfectly all laid out. So then once you get to the, oh my goodness, where's the month section? Once you get past the year at a glance, then you have your month layout. And this is what your month layout looks like. So in this month layout, what we've got here is obviously you have your dates, 1 through 30 or however long the month is. And there's just a spot for you to write in what the date is in the corner of each of these little boxes. I also have sections for kind of figuring out your goals. So this is where the goal setting part of this notebook is really great. So each month I ask you to say what your focus is. Each month it's nice to have one thing that you're saying, all right, I'm going to prioritize this a little bit above everything else. So you decide what your month focus is, and then you also decide on some goals for your month. But you don't just stop there. You don't just stop at goals. I also have in this layout section action steps. So this section is for you to decide what steps to work towards your goals you're going to make sure you achieve that month. So that's kind of the gist of the monthly layout section. There's some notes areas as well, but that's really the gist of the monthly layout. It's a pretty standard for a normal planner. Then once you get into that, you go into this spread. So each one of these has a unique quote on this page, but the big thing is, and we're going to fold this over, so on this page, you have all of your meal planning help. So at the very top here, it says workout appointments. It's just a reminder to, if you haven't already, write your workouts into your calendar. When are you going to do them? Where are you going to do them? What are you going to do? There's spots in the weekly layout for where to record this, but this is just a reminder to do that. And then you get into your meal planner. So I've fixed this in the final PDF version so that there are actually lines, but in this section of the planner, what you can go ahead and do is write out what are you going to eat all week. So maybe you're going to be, at a party on Friday night, or maybe you're going out to dinner with a friend on Wednesday, or whatever. You write those things into your planner so you have an idea of what meals you have to cover in your meal preparation and which meals you don't have to. I tend to eat very similar things for breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the week, so for me, I just end up writing something here and then having an arrow go across the page. But this is where you do your meal planning, and then here is where you write your grocery list. So I also have reminders in here that once you write your grocery list into this section, don't just write it in this section. Transfer it to your phone. Transfer it to whatever thing you are going to have with you when you go to the grocery store. And that's why I use my phone, is because I lose the list. If I write this out on a piece of paper, I'll lose it. So I transfer this list into my phone, and then when I go grocery shopping, I never have forgotten my list. So I have some weekly actions here as well, reviewing some of the things you created in the foundations to keep fresh in your mind, what you're working for, what you want out of life, etc. Just some reminders down here at the bottom. But that's really it for this little pre-week section of the planner. So now we're going to get into the weekly layout. And this is my favorite part. So the weekly layout, we've got a little bit of a note section on this side of the weekly layout, but other than that, it's a vertical layout. What's special about this layout is this, and I'm going to try to, I might flip the camera around to show you these different sections, but actually, what you'll see here is at the top of each section, we have a place for affirmations and gratitudes. And affirmations and gratitudes I find to be a very, very important activity, especially if you're somebody who really struggles with self-esteem, confidence, or really kind of getting into a negative funk. Doing affirmations and doing daily gratitudes is a really, really good exercise to get into, because not only are you saying those positive things about yourself and reminding yourself what those positive things are that you have, like, I am confident, I am healthy, I deserve success, I'm a great example to others. Reminding yourself of those things every day really helps to build up that sense of confidence again. Gratitudes. I can be kind of a pessimistic person, and so sometimes it's really easy to get into the habit of not appreciating those little things in your life. So I love doing the gratitudes every morning because I start off the morning really coming from that place of abundance and happiness. So I really like that as my beginning of the day activity. So I usually fill these things out in the morning. Additionally, and this is super important, we have this today's priorities section. So what this section is for, and why I put it here, is because I know a lot of people really, really struggle with never feeling like they've done enough during the day. And what I like to do is I fill out that section. I decide first thing in the morning, what do I want to get done today? And I decide on those 3 things that if I get them done today, my day is a success. I can be very happy with how my day went as long as I complete these 3 priorities. And it leaves you from having that feeling of dissatisfaction and that feeling of never having done enough. So I really, really love this section, and I encourage you to fill all 3 of these things out, but particularly the priorities every morning. Then you just have, your scheduling your day kind of activities. So appointments, maybe things you want to get done, errands you want to run, notes, whatever. you can use this section for whatever you want, but it's kind of the more basic planner section. Then at the very bottom of the weekly layout, we have the healthy habits section. And what this section is for is the following. So at the top here, we have 2 blank places with checkboxes next to them. And the idea here is if you have a habit or you have something you want to implement, like maybe you want to journal every day, maybe you want to meditate every day, maybe you want to make sure you spend time stretching, or you want to call home, whatever that thing is that you want to build in as a daily habit, you write it into this section so that you can check it off every single day. And you do that until that thing has become a habit. And then once it's a habit in your life, move on and maybe try to build in another healthy habit. So that's what those 2 little check boxes are for. Then we also, if you can see it here, have a spot to write in your workout as well as track your water. So this is for next week for me. This is what I'm gonna be, so that's a rest day, but that's what I'm gonna be doing that day for my workout. And then I can track my water here. So that's a really, really useful thing for building in those daily habits, reminding yourself of what you want to do, and not only that, prioritizing your workouts, taking the guesswork out of what workout you're supposed to do that day. Just write it right in there, and then it really, really makes it easy for you. All right. The other thing I wanted to show you is we also have a review section. So this is really just a bunch of lines on paper, but also some leading questions of what you can review each week. I'd say this is optional, but I highly encourage people to do it. In the challenge groups I run for Beachbody coaching, I have people do a Sum Up Sunday, or basically a review of how things are going. And I think this is another one of those things that people underestimate the power of. If you're doing a review of how you're moving towards your goals, how you're improving your health, etc., whatever you're working toward, if you take some time each week to review how that's going, what's working, what isn't working, what am I satisfied with, what am I not satisfied with, whatever, if you give yourself that little opportunity to review how things are going, you're going to make progress that much faster, because you're evaluating things. You're making sure you're not doing the same thing over and over again, a thing that isn't working, and slowing your progress down. Doing this review is really, really crucial to figuring out what can I do to move myself forward and move myself toward my goals faster by doing something like this. So I highly encourage everybody to take advantage of that line space. You don't have to use it all. Maybe you can sum up how your week went in a paragraph. I'm a very verbose person, and I know a lot of people are, especially when they're working on so many different things in their life. So having this lots of space at the end of each week to just review how things are going is really useful. All right. So another thing that I have that's kind of related to reviewing is I have a month-end review. So I'm going to do my month-end review tonight for the month of July, since it's August 1st. But this is what I have you do at the end of each month. So all this is different activities to review how your month went. So there's things in here like, what are my top 10 achievements and victories from this week, from this month? I need to change that actually. I found another thing to fix before this thing goes up. So top 10 achievements from this month. So that's celebrating the victories that you've had this month, and not just constantly being in this I need to improve mode, but also celebrating the accomplishments you've made. There's other things like review your planner. Are you happy with how you've spent your time? Who or what am I grateful for? All these questions like that, but also questions like, what obstacles or fears did I encounter this month? What have I learned over the past month? Did I fully enjoy this month? Was I present? So all of these different leading questions to kind of help you review your month and see if you're moving toward the things you want to be moving toward. I also have a little bit more lined paper at the end of the month. No big thing there, just lined paper. And then at the end of each month, I also have a section where you can plan for your next month. So this is leading into the section that follows for the next month. And all this is glance back. It's got some more leading questions, but to help you game plan for your next month, to make sure that you are making progress and those things that you reviewed previously are things that you're going to implement into your new month. So this just has things like, how did I want to reprioritize how I'm spending my time? How can I implement the lessons I learned from last month? What 3 things did you want to improve on, etc. And then also at the bottom of this page, as well as into the next page, there's some place to decide what goals you're going to pursue for the following month and what action items you really want to make sure you complete in the following month. So that's really the gist of how this planner is laid out. It's got basically what it is lots of reminders of the goals that you're working toward and the steps that you want to achieve, places to track your healthy habits, and lots of space to review how things are going, all of which I feel like are crucial habits when you're trying to really change things in your life. So that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to give you a quick walkthrough, give you an idea of what you're getting. This was great for me because it reminded me of a couple things I want to tweak before this goes up. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below or head to my website and contact me, and I would be happy to answer those questions. If you have any ideas or tips or whatever for maybe how you want to see the planner in the future, or things that you'd love to add or maybe love to change, I would love to hear those comments so that I can make this thing exactly what people need. This was something I've envisioned for a long time, and I'm just really happy to share it with you. Thank you for watching, and go check out the Healthy Life Handbook. Bye!